Hi, I'm Jeff McErlain, and today we're going to take a look at expanding on the 16251 turnaround that I gave you in the previous lesson, so check that out first to start off. So just a quick run over, I'm in the key of G. So I'm going to play 1625 in the key of G, and I'm going to make them all dominant 7th chords. So I have G7 is my 1, 6 would be E7, 2 is A7, 5 is D7, back to 1. Now the first thing I want to just address is very often your 2 chord could be played as a minor 7th chord. So generally speaking, in blues you would play it as a dominant 7th chord. In more jazz influenced things or jazz, you'd play your 2 chord as a minor 7th chord. So what would that be? That would be G7's 1, E7's 6, 2 would be A minor 7, then 5 would be D7, back to G. So I've got now, you can decide which one you want to do. Like I said, more often in blues you hear it as a 2 dominant 7. Not all the time. Okay, so the same concept can hold true though when we play a 2 minor 7 chord, that we keep that same note on the top. Right? As we did last week. So we can just change that 2 chord to a minor 7th chord. Alright, now what I want to see here is checking out my 1625 a little bit further up the neck. So we're going to check out, take this G major triad. I can do this just to see a G major chord. I have my G on top. Now my 6th chord is E7. How about to A, right? To D7. Back to G. So keeping the idea of moving a line, what do we have? So I have G major, triad, my G on top, E7 with the G sharp, kind of cool line going up, to A major, to D7, and I can resolve up to this G. So I have this cool line that goes up. Okay. Now, if you want to expand upon that idea, maybe add a little chromaticism. I'm going to run over a bunch today, but let's go this chromatic thing. All right. Go to A. What did I do? Pretty sweet. I wanted to get that chromatic line going up. So I played G major, E7 with my G sharp on the top. So I have this G to G sharp to the A triad. There's my A. And then I want to get a chromatic note, which would be the B flat, which gives me D7, flat 13, and resolves beautifully to G. So once again, pretty cool. Now, you can delay that a little bit. We can do something like, again, a little smoother. So G major, E major, E7. Here's my A to D7, flat 13 to the E. So you get this great, pretty cool. All right, now let's try some other ones. I'm going to wing some of these. All right, here we have G major. Now we can maybe want to keep a G on top as much as we can. Okay, so G major with the G on top. Now how about E7 is my 6th chord. So if I want to keep the G on top, I have E7 sharp 9, which is the Hendrix Chord, right? How about A7? And what if I keep that G on top of the D7 chord? D7 sus4 to G. Let's hear that. Cool, right? So it's much more interesting than doing, as we talked about last time. Or this one. I can resolve it down there, but my G on top, or I can resolve to that triad. Okay, so the idea, once again, is seeing the 1625, just a basic chord progression, and thinking about what my top melody note can be. So you come up with some really great ideas. So let's try, all right, let's just try this. G. All right, now E7 is my next chord. I have a B on top. Okay, well, let's want to keep the B on top. So A would be the next chord, A7. I can make that A9 to G13. Okay, so let's do it again. So all I'm thinking about is just those changes, but trying to keep a note on the top that's the same, or move something chromatically, right? So let's just try, just thinking about it right now. Okay, so let's go back to this G. Now I want to go to, let's try this. All right, so we can move all this down. So I went to G major to E9. Then maybe we want to go to A13. D7 sharp 9 to G7. Now sometimes it sounds really nice if you just resolve to a triad, so let's try that one again. So use your ears, or I could make on to a 13, so let's try that again. So G major to E9, A13, D7 sharp 9 to G13. So I can start to mix all these up and down. Now, I can put a note on the higher string. Now D7, the 13 on the top. So the lesson here is by keeping a melody idea on top, whether it's a common tone between all the chords, or you can think about a melody, which would be a chromatic line or a diatonic line. Diatonic meaning within the key, just like this one, or following the chords. Oh, sorry. There's nothing outside of the chords. And so here, when I added in this flat 13, and I really love that sound. So it really pulls you. So a cool exercise as you go through this is to experiment. That's really the idea. Let's just try another one. Okay, I have E major. I want to go to this. Right, my E7 again. Let's just say I want to go back down to G because I have A7 with a G. And I can do that D sus4 again, which is going to be kind of cool. Or I can just do D. Back to the G. So let's try that one again. So maybe you don't know some of these voicings, and it's a really cool opportunity to experiment with something new. So where did I come up with some of these voicings? It's not like I invented them, but some of them came from experimentation. So let's just say we have this A7 that I did here, right, like this. Well, I have G in the bass, there's my C sharp, my E. I don't have an A in this particular chord, I don't necessarily need it. I could just play this. Well, here's A7, right? But I wanted to put that G on the high or on the second string. So I'd think about taking time to refinger the chord a bit. So how you can, in a way that you can do that. So let's try to keep it G on all this. Watch. So I have G major, and I'm gonna do the E7 sharp now with the G on top. And how about that? There's my A7 with the G on top, and then if I put the G on top, I could do a D7 with a G on top like that, or I could see this D7 sus4. I want to do that. So use your ears, but it really comes down to experiment. You can move these lines. I do this all the time, and in jazz it's called chord melody or voice leading. There's all these names for it. But if you take your time and think about how chords aren't just these shapes that you can use. Like this is my D7 chord. Well, I can make it a D9 or a D7 sharp 9 and get some really nice resolutions to make things a little more jazzy. It always comes down to context. If you're playing an old school kind of blues, say like a Muddy Waters kind of vibe, altered chords with tensions, Dom 7 sharp 9 flat 13 isn't really the genre for old Muddy Waters or Lightnin' Hopkins, but certainly for B.B. King, Freddie King, certainly Robin Ford, and any kind of more modern jazz-influenced blues musician. And what's nice is the more you start doing these, the more you start hearing them, and the less sort of odd or taxing they are on your ears. Thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed the information, please feel free to share it, and also subscribe below and hit that like button. It really helps me and my business, so I can actually bring more videos like this to you. Also, please check out jeffmcerlain.com for more information about me and my schedule. Take care. Thanks.